Welcome back, everybody. You are now listening to the Morning Grizz podcast, where we talk about sports in a raw and authentic way. Sports for the fan, from a fan. It's your boy Joseph, aka Jay with the Grits, and I'm back once again with my man Leon. What's good, Leon?
What's happening, man? How you doing?
Oh man, I'm feeling good. It's been a while since we've been on. We wanted to wait till NBA trades settle down a little bit, and they
Mm,
have. A lot of
Right.
things have been going on in sports as well, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm excited about what's happening in the world of sports and happy the basketball's coming back so soon.
Yeah, yeah. It feel like it just stopped the season, right?
Yeah.
And the new season starts December 22nd.
Yeah.
Preseason starts December 11th. Training
Yeah.
camp already started for these teams on December 1st.
Yeah.
And we have a great episode going on today for them, Leon. And like you said, there's a lot that's going on in sports today or this
Mhm.
week. College basketball started back this season. It's the
Yeah.
chase for March Madness. You had teams like Kentucky, who's already lost 2 games. You got Virginia, Duke,
Yeah.
Villanova, powerhouses, Leon, have already lost 1 game to start the season.
Yeah. But like I said, I feel that it's early in the season. It's them teams are still going to be up in the conversation of top teams. I think at the end of the day. And like I said, it's this the beginning. Everybody lose every once in a while. I mean, it's unusual,
Hmm.
but this year has been different. I mean, 2020 is anything can happen in 2020. So I still think they'll be all right.
Anything can happen in 2020. Leon, you hit the nail right on the head. And what
Yeah,
has happened maybe hasn't shocked a lot of people, but for some people it has. LeVar
yeah,
Ball, you know
yeah,
that guy.
yeah,
Triple B,
yeah,
Lonzo Ball, LaMelo Ball, and now you have LiAngelo Ball, who was signed by the Detroit Pistons. So you know what that means? Everything that LeVar Ball said has came
yeah,
true, Leon. He has all three of his boys in the NBA at the same time.
yeah. I mean, I tip my hat to him. He said it. He said it was gonna happen. You know, Even though I feel LiAngelo got to prove himself. I think out of the three, he's the least talented as far as skill wise, but he got his shot. He's in NBA, and so he get one season to find out. I know his contract is non-guaranteed money, and so we'll see what's gonna happen. But for Lonzo and the whole family, man, they're just I love them as a family. They're very talented family, and I think that they'll do great. Just the APB out on LiAngelo. We'll see what he do. We'll see what he do this season. I'm gonna watch. So,
Yeah,
but
there's not much.
they're
Yeah,
must
I
see TV.
mean, they are must see TV. LaMelo Ball was the number 3 pick in the NBA
Yeah,
draft.
yeah,
Going to the Charlotte Hornets. He's going to rock with Jordan. And you got to think about how many games they're going to sell out when the fans are going to arrive at the arena this year.
yeah,
He's gonna put some seats. He's gonna sell some seats, Leon. He's gonna sell a
yeah,
lot of shoes. People
yeah,
want to see this kid play. He's exciting.
yeah,
Lonzo Ball, him being playing with the Pelicans. Zion Williamson. You have Brandon Ingram down there. They got a nice little trio. And now you
yeah,
got LiAngelo Ball in Detroit. Like you said, he has to prove himself, but that Detroit team looks kind of solid coming into this year.
yeah,
Maybe to make some playoff noise, maybe knock on that AC.
yeah. Absolutely. Well, yeah, man, we'll see. Because I mean, I think that the West is deep. Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna just waltz by in the West. I think from 1 to 8 is gonna be strong. They're gonna be strong, strong. Even the Suns gotten better, and they even vying for maybe a seventh, eighth spot. So they but potentially they have the skill. It depends on how durable Zion is, how durable Lonzo is. They both were hurt a little bit last year, and so they got a nice little nucleus, and
Right.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll definitely see what happens. And one thing I want to see what happens is, I haven't really paid much attention to the NFL this year, Leon.
Hmm.
I have, I've been watching the games, but as far as like my interest level with the NFL hasn't been at its ultimate high. The
Right.
NFL has battled with COVID issues all year round. And the NFL has said this year that in the playoffs, they will not go to a bubble format.
Mm-hmm.
Players have been sick with COVID. Coaches have been sick with COVID. You have opportunities to have games played, but for example, you had a game that was supposed to be played Sunday. It got pushed back, or actually
Right.
last Thursday for Thanksgiving game with the Steelers and the Ravens. That game got pushed back a couple of days before the Steelers and the Ravens could actually play. What does the
Right.
NFL have to do, Leon, for the playoffs to be a really solid playoffs to where you can say, these are evenly matched games and nobody's going to have the advantage?
I just think that they kind of have the mentality. If nobody actually gets hurt or die from it, then we're okay. This far in the season, I think it's too late in the season to try to implement something. They got a few more games, 3 or 4 or 5 more games, I think at the max, maybe. And then playoffs. Unless they do a playoff bubble, I just don't. It's possible for them to do that, but to me, it just don't seem like that's on their top priority list. They'll just quarantine the players that can't play, and they'll still continue to play their games. But in my opinion, I don't think they're going to do anything. I think it's going to stay the same. They're going to play the playoffs the same way. I think they're doing no fans in the stands still. So, I don't think they're going to do anything. I don't think anything changed.
Well, some of the teams do have the fans, and that's one of the measures that the NBA is going to adopt this year. So remember when the NBA came back to resume play in July, they had themselves in a bubble over at Walt Disney World. Well, now the NBA is kind of taking on that same format that the NFL is doing, to where each home game is going to be played at the home team's arena. So the Lakers are going to be playing at Staples. You're going to have Golden State playing at the Chase Center out there in the Bay. So the NBA went from having a bubble to no longer having a bubble, and they've already tested 546 of their players. 48 of those players have come down with a positive test of COVID-19. But one thing is that the NBA has done, or some of the teams have done, for example, the Golden State Warriors, they're going to actually do rapid testing for each fan that comes into the arena on game night. What do you think about that? Do you think the NBA should take different measures? Should they go back to a bubble? Should they be playing with fans inside the stands?
I kind of feel they shouldn't. But like I said, NBA is. I'm interested to see what they do, because they always are on top of the game. They always ahead of the curve.
Right.
And so I know that they're going to take every precaution. That's why I'm not too worried about the NBA, even though there have been players testing positive recently. I think that they still are going to do everything they can to keep their players safe, keep the fans safe. And, playing in the bubble was a difficult task. I know it was hard to be there for 3 months, and now I wouldn't expect them to do it again, especially, with all the seeing football still being able to make it through a season and things like that with minimal, even though they have times where they do catch it. But I think the NBA is prepared. I put all my faith in them. I think they're I think they're gonna regulate, and I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good for basketball because their ratings are down last year. So.
Yeah, ratings might be down at the same time. I feel like NBA is one of the must-see watches of sports. Obviously football, you have more of the gladiator style, bang, bang, contact. But the amount of contact, the amount of excitement that the NBA brings, I think a lot of people are missing out. And I think that's why you do have Golden State Warriors opening up their seats to 50% capacity so that you can have fans watching the games. Most people like myself, Leon, I like to go to games. I like to be at the arena if I'm able to be in that environment. It's just something about being at the game that just makes it feel different. You're able to see the players up close, see how they really perform, and you're able to get a really true feel about how elite of athletes they really are. In this COVID-19 situation, Leon, will you be going to a game this year?
Probably won't make it in December. But next year, I wouldn't mind. I don't mind at all. As long as, the proper precaution. Well, I know they will. 50%. The arenas are humongous. A lot of people still going to the gyms. A lot of people still dining in. A lot of people still doing certain type of things. So just being careful, being cautious. I wouldn't mind going to a game. I wouldn't mind at all. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
So I would definitely. What about yourself?
Yeah, I mean, if you go into a game, bro, you better take me with you. Like you said, these teams have measures in place to keep safety.
Right.
That's the number one mission, is to try to promote safety for the players.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to keep the players safe, in order to keep the staff safe, and if there's anybody that's going to come into the arena, they have to keep them safe as well. Like you said, the arenas are huge. They hold 20,000 people in most arenas. So you can have one side filled up, or maybe not even one side, but you can have enough people in each quadrant of the actual arena to where you can have a safe distance for people to actually enjoy the game. But one thing, the NBA, I'm trying to figure out, Leon, what the NBA actually cares about. Now, I know the craze right now is weed. It's marijuana. Leon, there's a lot of people that do it. You and I, we both don't smoke. Hey, but at the same time, I understand that you might be able to use marijuana for medicinal purposes. A lot of people say that marijuana is something that athletes like to use because it doesn't get them addicted to things like pills. These certain type of opioids to maybe cure certain ailments that they might have, or at least give them a temporary relief of pain. What do you think about the NBA saying that they will not have random tests for marijuana in this new 2021 season?
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, Adam Silver is the GOAT. He got to go down as one of the best owners or head guy in charge. I'm pretty sure the ones who do smoke marijuana are excited to hear about that. There's going to be a lot of high players this year. We're J.R. Smith. I think this is the time he want to be on the team right now. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a good idea, because you're going to have players playing high. I mean, you have to know that, You're going to have people, so you're going to, like you said, Stephen Curry going to go for 80, LeBron going to go for crazy. The players who don't smoke weed are going to have field days. Right. I just don't know about that. I mean, I know a lot of people are for it. A lot of people are against it because, like, why? But I think focus on COVID. I guess it helps keep COVID away. I don't know,
man. But I imagine what the pregame meal is going to be like, Leon. Just a lot of sugar, a lot of cupcakes, a lot of Twinkies. They're going to be eating really, really good before they go out there and play. That's what I feel.
Right.
And there's a lot of free agents. There's a lot of new players that are on teams this year. There's a lot of teams that have made some changes this year, Leon. The free agency was loaded.
Yeah.
Gordon Hayward opted out of a $34 million contract, Leon. There was something going on out there in Boston, but like you said, he got the bag. What have been the trades for you that just made you go, wow, Leon, what did it for you this year so far?
What did it for me? It was, I like what the Lakers did in the offseason. I think that they really, really went after free agency like they were the last seeded team. And they went hungry. Lakers went very hungry in free agency. To me, they made the biggest splash. Especially with AD resigning, LeBron resigning, and then you got you added pieces like Shooter, Montrezl Harrell, Marc Gasol. Then you have other players. LeBron, was tweeting like Kuz gonna have a big year, which is I've been telling you, get his boy another chance. This dude can hoop.
He's got to say it though.
He got to find his way. You know what I'm saying? And when you got superstars on your team, he went from being the number one option to maybe third, fourth. So you got to give him a little time to adjust. So I think the Lakers made the biggest splash. They made the biggest moves. But then I also like what the Sixers did. They added Dwight Howard. They also added some shooters. They added Curry. Some 3-point shooters around Embiid. I like what the Clippers did. They got a little bit better with Serge Ibaka addition. But they still don't have a floor general. They still don't have a leader, which that will be their downfall. I like what Portland did. Portland added some crucial pieces. Even Milwaukee got a little bit better with adding Drew Holiday. Right. Celtics are still strong. Nets are going to be a team to watch. Dallas, of course. Utah is going to be good. I think this season is going to be a phenomenal season, man. Yeah. I'm so excited about the season because the teams are balancing out.
Right.
So I'm excited to see, who steps up as leaders, what team takes over, what team is leading, what team is going to be the best, and all that. So I know it's going to be good, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be an excellent season, man. I can tell that you're excited. I can tell that you're ready for the season to already begin. Some parts of me wish that NBA was playing right now, Leon, and some of this excitement and some of this balance of powers. When you look at the trade that happened between John Wall and our boy Russell Westbrook, Brody. What's up, Brody? I know you're back to your number 4 now. Brody's over there in DC with the Wizards. Leon, I really think that this move, having Brody on the Wizards, along with Bradley Beal, they've added some more shooting with B-Trends. Leon, I think that they are a legit playoff contender. I think Russell Westbrook is underrated, even though he's been an MVP in this league. I still think that people don't give him props. People say he's always in his head. I just think he plays with a lot of passion. He plays with a lot of conviction, and he don't take nobody's mess. Russell Westbrook is going to be an all-star in this league, and I think Russell Westbrook is going to really surface back to the old Westbrook from the Thunder days, Leon. What do you think about that trade with John Wall and Russell Westbrook?
I don't know how I feel about it. I think that Westbrook is the better player. Overall, he's a better player. I think John Wall may be a lower budget of Westbrook. He's have the same dynamics that Westbrook have. He's quick. He's explosive. Well, we see how explosive he is. He may have lost a step or two with the injury. He's not the best shooter, not a great shooter, even though he has gotten better down through the years.
Right.
But I think he's the same type of player. I don't see how he's going to really help Houston if he's not a shooter. For James Harden to be effective, he needs shooters around him. That's the only way they're going to be able to be effective. I think that Wizards do have a chance now to make the playoffs. Do I think that they'll go past the first round? No, I don't think they will. Okay. I don't think they have the skill to. They'll make the first round. I think they'll be ousted by a top team. I think they'll get 7th or 8th seed in the East. But overall, they're the same type of player. I mean, I don't want to say John Wall is a lower budget Westbrook, but same type of player. Westbrook is just better. You know, he's a Hall of Famer, and I think that he can carry a team to the playoffs. But that's as far as it goes, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, the East just got better. The East got deeper. Like you mentioned, there was a lot of trades that happened. Like you said, 76ers got better with adding some of those shooting pieces, with Seth Curry and also with Danny Green. But then, I mean, they filled out their roster by adding Dwight Howard to it. Doc Rivers is one of those coaches that's already used or had won a championship with a point guard that didn't know how to shoot. Now you have a guy like Ben Simmons, who leads the league in steals last year, who's 6'10", who is top 5 in assists per year. Leon, he can rebound the ball, he can see the floor, and you have these shooters that are surrounding him now. Do you think that the 76ers could be the team to beat, or is it Boston still the team to beat? Who do you think that is going to really create some noise coming out of the East like this?
Sixers are going to be good, barring injury. Can Ben, and those are questions that I guess waiting to be answered for this upcoming season. Can Ben Simmons stay healthy? Can Ben Simmons actually play a full season? Can Embiid stay healthy? And so these are questions that are still looming for the 76ers that's been hanging over their heads. But I think in the East, the Nets are going to be the team to beat. Obviously, because they have Kyrie Irving. They have Kevin Durant. You're talking about two bona fide superstars. They're top 5 talent without question.
Right.
Just their talent alone is going to be a problem for most teams. It's just you can't guard both of them. So you got to kind of pick your poison. And even then, they still might go for 30, 40, 50 if they wanted to.
Right.
So I think in the East now you have a team that's coming out that's strong. So I think all the eyes are going to be on New Jersey. No shot to Boston. I think they'll still be in the top 4. 76ers, I think, be in the top echelon in the East. But you got to go past the Nets at this point. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I got to give it to them.
Yeah, and I forgot about the Nets, and I forgot about that firepower that they got. But one thing I didn't forget is my LA Lakers. Because at the end of the day, every team has to go through the LA Lakers.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
LeBron James just signed a 2-year, $85 million contract, Leon. They gave him the bag.
Yes, they gave him the bag. Man, I'm excited. Because he came and he delivered. He even secured the future for the next 5 years. You got a transcendent type talent with Anthony Davis.
Yes.
Filled the future. And now he brought a championship. Give that man that money. You know what I'm saying? What he did, what he's doing for the Lakers, man, is just nothing less than remarkable. And so it's well deserving. And Lakers show that they take care of their superstars. They did the same thing Kobe in his last 2 years. I mean, gave him a 2-year, 70 million, 65 million, something like that. Very close to what LeBron got. And that was a thank you. Kobe was on the down part of his career. And they showed their appreciation. So I'm happy for him, even though he don't need it. He still got plenty of we got him for another 3 years. You know. So
they always say when you make a lot of money, Leon, you spend a lot of money. So I mean, but an extra $85 million don't hurt when LeBron's got that crazy Nike shoe contract too, right?
It won't hurt at all, bro.
But you mentioned it with Anthony Davis. You said he signed that 5-year, $190 million contract, Leon.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, LeBron was a big influence because he won the championship. He brought AD there to tell him and to show him really how to be a champion and really how to win. And what other place than to do it in LA, man? I mean, there's a lot of people out here that are hating on like Laker fans right now. Leon, you and I have been Laker fans ever since Magic Johnson, since James Worthy, Byron Scott. Man, I mean Eddie Jones fans, Leon, Nick Van Exel fans. We've been through it. The Swish Parker era, and now we have the opportunity again since Kobe's gone, to have LeBron James here. I was never a big LeBron James fan like that, Leon. I'm still not a LeBron James fan per se. However, I appreciate LeBron James's game. I appreciate what he has done, not just on the court, but what he has done in the lives of a lot of young kids, what he's been as far as a mentor to a lot of athletes. And what he's doing right now is he's molding Anthony Davis the same way that Dwayne Wade molded LeBron James to become elite so that he could be dominant, so that he could be a force, not just on the court, but also off the court.
Absolutely. And like I said, it's the best teacher is seeing it in person. Work ethic, and I'm pretty sure that Anthony Davis is going to develop because LeBron is probably the hardest working athlete in the game as far as keeping his body, spending over $1 million a year on just his body and Anthony Davis, and he's one of the most durable superstars that we ever seen in the history of the game.
Right.
And something that he's going to be pouring into AD, and it's going to be great. It's going to just catapult AD to a whole nother level. I think even next year, I think you're going to see a whole different AD. I think he's the set goals. I think he's going to be the defensive player of the year next year. I know AD is going after it. And then, it's just an infection. So I'm excited to see, even Kuzma. I think everybody that's on LeBron's team is going to get better. And I think that, they're going to be tough to beat this year, man. They're going to be tough to beat because when they go to the bench, you still got bona fide scores coming in the game.
Right.
And so I think it's infectious. I think LeBron has infected the Lakers, and so I think that they're going to be tough, man. I really think they're going to be tough.
They always say the second championship is always the hardest one to win, Leon, especially when you're trying to go back to back. But like you
Yeah.
said, I think you hit it right on the head, Leon. The way that LeBron James has imprinted his name,
Yeah.
his spirit on the Lakers, like the way that he plays, the way that he goes about taking care of his body, the way that he sees the game. He's elevated every single player that's on the Lakers roster. And now you have a guy that's coming in like Dennis Schroeder, who's saying that, you know what, I want to be able to start on this team. Now I'm going to make an imprint and let everybody know that I'm coming to this team, not just to be a backup, but they brought me here for a reason. I want to start on this team. But then let's just say he doesn't start, Leon, and I want to hear your take because you have Dennis Schroeder, who's going to be your point guard, and then you also have Alex Caruso. Both players can start. Both players are used to coming off the bench, but now you have a starting lineup that has a great other four pieces to plug in. Where do you see Dennis Schroeder fitting? Do you see him fitting in the starting lineup? Do you see him fitting coming off the bench? And why?
That's a tough one. That's a very tough one. Overall, I think Schroeder is a better player than Caruso. This far in their careers, they're still fairly young. But I will say LeBron and Alex Caruso have such a chemistry on the court. They play so well together. But ultimately, I think Frank Vogel is going to set them both down and be like, hey, whoever plays the best, get it. Whoever wanted the best, get it. I think Schroeder, in my honest opinion, I think Schroeder will end up starting because, like I said, he is the better player. But my only concern is like, okay, then we lose that 18 points that come off the bench.
Right.
We lose scoring power on the second unit, and I think Frank Vogel will take a look at that because if Schroeder comes off the bench, he could take over with the second unit. He'll be that go-to guy. Him and Montrezl Harrell. If Montrezl Harrell don't start. So I think Schroeder can man and lead that second team. So I think it's going to be a decision Frank Vogel is going to have to make because you need bench scoring. You need depth on your bench. Putting him in the starting lineup, you lose depth. And that's just what it is. Because Alex Caruso is not going to give you 18, 15, and 20 points a game, 15 or 18 points a game.
But Leon, do I need that? If I'm LeBron, right, and I just put out there that Kuzma is about to have this crazy, amazing season, that Kuzma really needs to step up. Now, if I have Kuzma and I'm relying on Kuzma to really be that third guy, that guy off the bench, so I have scoring there, and then I have a guy that works very, very hard, like Montrezl Harrell, and then you have a guy who's very, very consistent, like Wesley Matthews, who could shoot the three. He could also play defense. He's not going to dribble drive like he used to do back in the days before he got hurt, but he's still going to hit the three. He's still going to make the smart pass. He doesn't make mistakes. You have a second unit, and even if I don't know who else you would have down there, but you have a second unit, Leon. You have a second unit that's very, very viable. Do they need Schroeder to really come off the bench, or can AC, really run that second unit okay with Kuzma being there?
Absolutely. I think that those are questions. I think game plan is very important. I think the coaching staff is going to take a good look at all options. They're just not going to hand it to Schroeder, like I said. But Lakers are deep. They're from 1 to 9, 1 to 10. They're actually extremely deep. And like you said, I'm looking for Kuzma to have such a big year. I'm looking for Montrezl Harrell, who said that he has more to offer. I want to know what that more to offer is. How Gasol is going to stretch the floor. So they're going to be dangerous. So if he's in there or not, I think it's still going to be advantage. Because now you have to worry about another scorer who can get their own shot, who can stretch the floor, who can shoot, who can run the pick and roll. So it's going to be good.
It's going to be good. And we're going to see it really, really soon. We mentioned it before. The NBA season kicks off next week, Leon, with the preseason on the 11th. Leon, that's 7 days away. And then on the 22nd, you have the first games of the season. Leon, the NBA did right to us, man, by bringing us this action. We get to see Kyrie Irving. That's my boy. I love Kyrie. I love KD. I think KD is knocking on the door for the best player in the league. We're going to see how KD is going to respond coming back from that injury. We're going to see how that offense with Steve Nash, Amari
Mm.
Stoudemire, Dan Toney being on the bench now, right? So
Mm.
you got all three of those coaches coaching players like Kyrie Irving and
Right.
Kevin Durant, and then you got the Golden State Warriors, your
Mhm.
boy Andrew Wiggins, your
Yeah.
boy Steph Curry. They're gonna play head to head. The Lakers and the Clippers go head to head. Leon, what do you think about these opening games? What do you think is gonna go down this first day of the NBA season?
I'm gonna tell you like this. I'm excited about the opening games. I think Brooklyn and Golden State is going to be an excellent game because at any given day, Stephen Curry can cause nightmares for any team, any team. And then the addition of Boogie Cousins, I think will be. I'm praying for him, man, because he's such a good dude. Praying for his success, for him to be successful, and then I think the key piece is Andrew Wiggins because they got Draymond Green, who's going to be their dog, who's going to be their enforcer, who's going to be their vocal piece. They need Wiggins to step up. Wiggins needs to have a big year. He needs to play.
Yeah.
Will he fulfill Clay shoes? Absolutely not. But then again, who can? But Wiggins can hoop. The guy got a big contract and just relax. But if they can get him to buy in and play and give it 110%, I think Golden State still be in the upper echelon in the West. So I'm really excited to see them because their powerhouse is going against KD and Kyrie.
Yeah.
I said enough. I think that that matchup is going to be exciting. I think the whole world's going to be watching that. Also, the Lakers and the Clippers. I mean, shoot. Montrezl Harrell versus the Clippers. Forget LeBron.
Right. That's a new
storyline. Patrick Beverly. How's the feelings going to be? So you got LeBron, Kawhi, you got AD, you got Paul George, you got Montrezl, you got Beverly. So it's going to be opening day is going to be remarkable. I'm going to be sitting down watching both games. I'm going to sit and hopefully it's the 22nd. I'll be off this little detox I'm doing and I will be able to have a little bit more. So man, I'm excited, bro. This is unbelievable. I think the NBA did a wonderful job with these games, these opening games.
And then after that, Leon, 3 days later, Leon, on Christmas Day. I mean, you got 5 games, Leon, that are just like in the bag. To me, I think, LA Clippers versus Denver Nuggets, you get that rematch from the playoffs. Yeah. You get the Pelicans, you get Zion Williamson versus Bam Adebayo. You get Lonzo Ball versus Tyler Hero. You get Jimmy Butler. You get some stars that are going to be on Christmas Day. Leon, you get Golden State Warriors versus Giannis and the Bucks. Boston Celtics versus Brooklyn. Then you got the Dallas Mavericks. Luka Magic versus LeBron. Porzingis versus AD. Leon, they keep hitting us with all this action.
Yes, man. NBA is coming back strong. All these teams in there, right, are great teams. Pelicans still need to, work on that, but they got one of the most exciting players in the game right now in Zion. He's so explosive. He's big. He's a bully. You know what I'm saying? He's a high flyer. People want to see him jump out the gym. People want to see his athleticism. And so I think that, man, I'm not moving on Christmas. I just want everybody to know. Don't call me. Don't text me. I'll be watching the NBA all day.
That's right.
Good, man. Christmas is going to be a good Christmas this year.
The NBA gave you a great Christmas present, Lee. I can tell you ready
to
open
all I need. That's all I need, brother.
This is a segment that all the fans enjoy. This is the segment that highlights your favorite athletes performing at a high level. This is your With the Grit segment. Leon, who's with the grit?
Oh.
Roy Jones Jr. and Mike Tyson. Leon, this week they are with the grits. Mike Tyson's 54 years old, Leon. My man Roy Jones Jr., 51 years old, Leon. They duked it out in the ring. Mm-hmm. Leon, they breathed really hard. Leon, they couldn't catch their breath. I thought somebody was going to get knocked out. Mike Tyson threw a lot of body punches. Wow. Hey, Mike Tyson looked kind of slow, right? He looked pretty good for being 54.
54, man, he looked good. Man, it was a dream come true to see two legends in two different eras to compete. We always say, what if Jordan could have played against Kobe in their heydays, or what if George Gervin played against the Kevin Durant's, and those type of players, and we got a chance to see, that in boxing with Roy Jones, who was pound for pound the best. He moved from light middleweight all the way up to heavyweight and won on every level. And then you had Iron Mike Tyson, who was just a savage in the ring, had people, grown men, scared of him to compete, especially at 50. I mean, let's get this years old. To do what they did and still be in shape and still, still able to move and go, 8 rounds, 2-minute rounds was still phenomenal to see. Right. In my opinion, I think Roy Jones did a lot of running, but rightfully so. Even at this point, even at 54, you still don't want to get hit by Mike Tyson.
And that's what he said, Leon. He said, when you get a body punch by Mike Tyson, like, you get hit.
You feel it. He was like, man, I felt it. He said, I felt it. So it was great to see, man. So they definitely with the grits, man.
This is a segment that all the fans love. This is the segment that highlights the best athletes that's really out there doing their thing. This is the Doing Your Thing segment. Leon, you know who's out there doing their thing this week?
Oh.
The Pittsburgh Steelers. Leon, they haven't been just doing their thing this week, Leon. They've been doing their thing the whole season. Leon, the Pittsburgh Steelers had been told to wait and that they couldn't play because there were players getting tested for COVID. They had to wait from Thanksgiving Day. They had to wait that Friday, that Sunday, Leon, to play again on a Wednesday in the afternoon. Leon, They are 11-0. The offense doesn't look so great, but their defense has been standing up teams, Leon. They have been stingy with points. Leon, I don't know. Is there something in the water with the Steelers? I don't know if they're really, really that good to me, but they are doing their thing out there. They are undefeated so far.
Hey, I mean, obviously they're doing their thing. Like you said, offense is not great, but the defense is holding it down. It's not offense that win game, it's defense. And so right now they're probably the best defensive team in the league. And I think that with probably 5 games to go, they probably get that number 1 seed. So I think that they'll make some noise. Will they win a championship? And we got to wait to see the brackets. I got to wait to see we're lining up because I was accurate last year. And so I want to see the matchups first before we make our declarations. But I think that they will definitely be in the mix of things.
Yeah, and right now the Pittsburgh Steelers are definitely doing their thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is the greatest segment in podcast and radio history. This is the segment that all fans love to do. I know I do. This is the Smack Talk segment.
Smack Talk.
You want to know who I'm talking smack to?
Who?
Nate Robinson. Nate Robinson, yeah, I'm talking smack to you. You still alive? Hey, Nate, Can you hear me? 1, 2. Get up, Nate. 3.
Nate Robinson challenge. Man.
It's been a week, Leon. He's still laying out over there on the floor, man. Shoes, feet going the same way.
I think he's still asleep. Man.
Wake up, Nate.
Man, he did it for the culture. He did it for all NBA players. He did it for the black culture. Man.
Nate better not get back in that ring again and take it back.
In the ring. I don't want to see them because I thought he was hurt. I thought the dude was hurt.
Yeah, bro. I thought he was dead.
I thought he was really hurt. He's athletic. Nate has always been athletic and can play basketball, pretty decent at football. But boxing? Nah.
Yeah. Hey, and it's funny because Leon, he posted these pictures of 10 pictures of his boys who have his back, whose boys who's gonna ride with him, and one of his boys is Floyd Mayweather. And then, so you thinking if you ready for a fight, Leon, at least you go to your boy, your main man, Floyd, the all-time great. Leon, he couldn't even get no defensive tips from Floyd. Protect your chin, man.
Man, everybody was laughing at Nate. I'm pretty sure Floyd chuckled it through when he saw that.
Had to.
The way he went down, bro, was I was like, wow. I mean, he really got laid out. I mean, he fell. Both his feet was facing turning the same way, and his head was the other way. And he didn't move, man. I mean, I just think that's going to be funny for years to come. The man got his own section of memes. He got his own talent. But I mean, he did it. It takes a lot I mean, much respect because it takes a lot to get in the ring, and now he understands how these boxers are really with the function. And
Right.
even is only a year into boxing, so you can only imagine with these boxers that are in the ring for years, like Mike Tyson, or that dedicate their lives to this sport. You just can't walk in there and beat them. But I would love to see him fight Ron Artest, though.
Ooh, that would be classic, right?
That'll be a classic.
Not Nate. Maybe Jake Paul or something like that, but not Nate. Nate better not get in that ring.
Nate, if you ever watched
You
this,
done, Nate.
You
got
done.
knocked out, Nate. Hey, see, he a former basketball player, Leon. He was on that.
He was on that good. He was on that good push, but you know what I'm saying? Stay out the ring, man. Stay out the ring, Nate.
This is your Smack Talk segment. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Morning Grits podcast. It's your boy Joseph, a.k.a. Jay with the Grits. And you already know, every time I'm here, I'm with my man Leon the Baller. Hey, yo, Leon, tell everybody what to do.
Hey, make sure that you like this video. Hit the subscribe button and don't forget to hit that bell so you get the notifications every time we upload a video so you can stay current on your daily sports.
And Morning Grits podcast is here. And let us know, are you with the Grits